Jay Solomon here, welcoming you to this introductory video training on the use of QuickBooks for managing crop budgets in the HarvestPlus network. You should be interested in viewing this tutorial if you're a new user to QuickBooks without prior training, have had prior training but would like a refresher, or have questions about the basics and need a quick source to find an answer. This tutorial assumes that you have installed the program on your computer and have received your working company file from either DC or Kali. If either of these assumptions is not correct, you will have to contact Kali or DC for assistance. Assuming you have both the program and the company file installed, let's begin. If you have dual monitors, you can follow along with this tutorial using your own copy of QuickBooks. That will be the easiest way to follow along, and I urge you to secure a second monitor so that you can most easily and quickly benefit from these video tutorials. For purposes of this and future tutorials, I will be using a file specifically set up to demonstrate the use of QuickBooks in the HarvestPlus system. While QuickBooks is a comprehensive and robust accounting system, we will be using only a small portion of its capabilities. Rather than recording liabilities and expenditures, we will be focusing on commitments at the time an obligation to pay is approved for disbursement. The purpose of this system is to manage, control, and report on the status of spending against approved budgets. As the actual disbursement function takes place outside of your control, we will assume that the actual expenditure takes place at the moment of approval. You will not have to wait for reports from the service center handling your disbursements to record transactions. In fact, it is vital that you not wait for service center reports to enter approved disbursements. You should enter data based on the documents that are submitted to your service center for payment before they are actually sent for processing and payment. In this way, you will capture all approved expenditures as they are approved. So let's begin our initial journey into the program. You are looking at the home screen on my computer. While I have several versions of QuickBooks to choose from, I'm going to double-click on the same version of QuickBooks that you are using, QuickBooks Premier Nonprofit Edition 2014. When the program opens, you will likely see the following screen. It's called the Home screen and provides shortcuts to various areas within the program. The file that will open on your computer is called a working company file and has a .qbw extension in the file name. If you see this screen, you will need to select the working company file from its storage drive and folder in your computer. My own working company file is located on my desktop and is called HarvestPlus Tutorial Company.qbw. While you do not have to concern yourself with saving the file throughout the day, QuickBooks automatically saves all data as it is entered, you will need to back up your file daily in case you have to restore it should it become corrupted, but we'll cover that in a later tutorial. You will also see that when I close the company, I am brought back to a selection screen that has automatically placed your working company file as the first choice for selecting a company file to open. We can open the file with a single click selection on Open. With your working company file open, you will see the home screen, which contains icons for quick selection of many of the areas of QuickBooks that are routinely visited. All of the icon selections are also available on the menu bar. The one that you will be using most often is the Write Checks icon as highlighted here. Of course, you will not really be writing a check, but we will use the image of a blank check to enter approved disbursements into QuickBooks. Left-click on the Write Checks icon now. You will now see an image of a blank check. The disbursement account has been pre-selected as the bank account. Since we are not using the balance sheet section of the program, we will be able to ignore the large negative balance that will accumulate in this account. We are using it solely as a means of recording approved expenditures. In the main body of the check image is a drop-down menu box labeled Pay to the Order of. Your company file will likely contain the names and account information for the vendors that your location does business with. My own file has none, so when I left-click in that box, I can enter the name of a vendor that I want to acknowledge as approved for payment. Since you will almost always be selecting from a list of previously entered vendors, let's left-click on the down arrow. My list is empty, so I must now enter a vendor name along with supporting information related to that vendor. You may fill in as much or as little information as you believe you will need, but the one that you should absolutely fill in is the account information, which prompts all future transactions with the specific account from the chart of accounts that the approved disbursements will be charged to. I'm going to complete the entry for a sample vendor, as you will see here. Once completed, we can now enter the disbursement data for the specific approved disbursement authorization. You will see that an account distribution has been suggested, but you are free to override that selection and choose any account from the chart of accounts based on the correct classification of expenditures for the selected transaction. You can also distribute the total amount to more than one account. With that transaction now completed, you can go on to the next transaction. You may find it easier to enter many vendors at one time rather than on the fly. On the fly refers to entering vendor information at the same time as the transaction. Having all vendors already entered will speed up your transaction entry time. To do that, select Vendors from the home screen or Vendors from the menu bar. From either, you can add all the vendors that you need. There is also a selection that allows you to add vendors even more quickly using a spreadsheet entry form, but that form does not allow for entry of chart of account distribution information. You can, of course, enter that information later. This brief introductory tutorial should get you up and running and entering data from daily activity. There's a lot more to cover, of course, and we will do so in a series of future tutorials. If you have any questions that the video tutorials are not addressing for you, please be sure to let me know. And you should always feel free to contact Kali or DC with specific questions. My contact information is shown here if you would like to contact me. Until next time, bye for now and have a great day.